Hello, this is Robert Ketzel, broker for real estate professionals, and I wanted to talk with you for a minute about a good neighbor next door home available in PG County. So this is me on the left-hand side. You may have talked to or dealt with Rob Sipes with our company in the past. He's still with us. I'm just filling in to help him out today. Rob is a good neighbor next door expert, and together we've helped about 150 people close on a good neighbor next door house. So we definitely know what we're doing, and we can definitely help you with this process. I want to talk with you about 4210 Byers Street in Capitol Heights, Maryland. It's a really great opportunity, in my opinion. It's priced at $149,000. That's the list price and appraised value. Of course, as a good neighbor next door participant, you're going to be able to get a discount of $74,500. Okay, so let's show you just a little bit about the location of this property, and then we'll go over some of the photos. So here's the property location here. This is the Maryland and DC line. And looking at the satellite view, looks like it's a decent neighborhood of single-family homes. There's a lot of parks and things nearby. The other thing that I found interesting is that this property is pretty close to DC. So as you can see, here's Pennsylvania Avenue. You could shoot right down Pennsylvania Avenue and be in Capitol Hill and the National Mall. And I would imagine that's got to be a valuable thing for this property. So we talked about parks. There's a park very close to this home called Fort DuPont Park. And the neat thing about this park is that it's got lots of walking trails, hiking trails, and biking trails. And they do concerts and things like that. It's definitely within a walking distance of this house, maybe like a half a mile. So you can definitely check the location out and maybe take a ride by the home and make sure that it's an area that you like. So here's the photos of the home. It definitely needs updating, and please forgive the poor quality of these photos. We work with what we have. So this home is what we would consider to be a Cape Cod style home. It does have 2 levels and a basement. This is the back of the home. So it definitely needs updating. There's paneling, there's old carpet. The windows definitely need to be replaced. But with the Good Neighbor Next Door program, you're going to be able to purchase the home and borrow some extra funds to fix it up and make it the way that you want it. So don't be too concerned about the condition. So here's the kitchen. If it were me, the kitchen would totally be updated. You might even want to consider taking this wall out and kind of joining these 2 rooms together. So there's definitely a lot of things that can be done. We actually can also help you to find a Good Neighbor Next Door contractor that can do this work for you. Here's one of the upstairs bedrooms, obviously needing work. Second bedroom upstairs. Here's one of the full baths. Definitely needs a total gut job there. There's the second bath, same thing. Needs to be totally replaced. Here's the basement. If it were me, I'd probably drywall over top of this knotty pine paneling and just give myself a nice finished basement. Maybe put in some recessed lighting, some nice flooring down there. Here's one of the photos that we have of the street view of the property. Seems like an attractive neighborhood and, lots of trees nearby. Let's talk for a second about who qualifies. Full-time law enforcement officers qualify, but you do have to be employed by a governmental body and sworn to uphold and make arrests. So typically, correction officers don't qualify, but pretty much every other type of police officer does, whether it's federal or state or local. Okay, you do have to work within a reasonable commuting distance from the property. In the past, they've said that that's a 90-minute drive. Full-time classroom teachers or administrators in grades pre-K through 12 qualify, whether they're public or private school. You can't be a college professor or anything like that. It does need to be grades pre-K through 12, and your employer has to service the location of the home. So what that means is not that students that lived in this home would go to your individual school, but just that the employer services it. So in the example of PG County schools, everybody who's a pre-K through 12 classroom teacher or administrator in the PG County school system would qualify as far as their employment. Same thing for firefighters and EMTs. They need to be full-time paid firefighters or EMTs and need to be employed by the governmental body that serves the location of the home. So we'll use, for example, PG County Fire Department as one of the qualifiers. Of course, if you have questions, you can reach out to us and we can help you to figure out if you qualify or not. little bit about the special financing on a good neighbor next door purchase. It's only $100 down payment. So you already have enough money. You don't have to save. Okay. You can finance all of your closing and settlement costs into the loan. So you need very little money up front. And then, of course, you can renovate any of these properties by using a licensed contractor. You don't pick the contractor before you offer on the property. Typically, you submit a bid to enter the lottery on the property. If your bid's accepted, you'll contract for it. And then during that closing process, you can get contractors into the home, get bids for the contracting work, and we can help you with that process as well. So you can borrow enough money to finish a basement, add a bathroom, do pretty much almost any type of improvement that you want within reason. Let's go over a little financial analysis of this property and show you how affordable it is. So in our example of $149,000, there's a silent second mortgage of $74,500. And what that means is that you owe the other $74,500, but you don't have to make any payments on the loan. And so long as you live in the house for 36 to 42 months after closing, the silent second mortgage will go away. So in this instance, you're going to finance half the price of $74,500. You're going to finance our estimate on what the settlement cost would be of $8,500, and you're going to finance an $8,940 real estate broker commission. This is how we get paid. HUD does not pay a real estate broker on properties like this, but you do have to go through a HUD registered real estate broker. There's certainly other people that do this, but we're pretty good at it. And as I said, we've worked with over 150 people. So we definitely know what we're doing. The other thing too is that this money is only due at closing if you actually are successful contracting for the property and go into closing on it. In our hypothetical example here, the person's going to borrow $50,000 for renovation costs. So if you add those numbers together, we end up with $141,940. And the buyer is going to get financing in the amount of $141,840, which is this number less the $100 down payment. So if we take into account principal and interest, property taxes, FHA mortgage insurance, and homeowners insurance, we've got an estimated monthly payment on this home of $1,143. So definitely a lot cheaper than rent. You're only going to need $100 cash to close, but we do need an earnest money deposit, not at the time you enter the lottery, but when you go to actually contract for the property of $1,490. That's 1% of the sales price. So basically the way that it works is that you enter the lottery. We just get your information. There's no paperwork or deposit required. We enter your information into HUD's bid system. They pick a person to move forward on it. And if that person moves forward, they'll then get an earnest money deposit together, and we'll help them to complete all the paperwork and put the house under contract. You'll go through the process of getting a loan and then go into closing somewhere around 60, possibly 90 days down the road. So we can definitely help you select a lender. We can even help you select a contractor. So definitely some great financials on this house. A lot of times we get people that say, well, geez, if I'm financing $141,840 and it was valued at $149,000, that's not a very good deal. But what they're forgetting is the fact that when you put $50,000 in renovation costs into the home that's financed into this number, you're going to boost the value of the property up significantly. I don't want to promise any particular number on this home, but it's not uncommon in this price range for somebody to put $50,000 in and make this home worth $225,000, sometimes more. So let's just say that you put $50,000 into this home and made the property worth $225,000. You'd have literally almost $85,000 in equity on day one of living in the property. Okay. And then in addition, your payment's going to be reasonable and you're going to be living in a home that's fixed up and nice the way that you want it. 36 to 42 months down the road, you can sell and keep all your proceeds tax-free. So definitely a great opportunity. Some things to understand. These homes are in revitalization areas. So a lot of times this may not be your first choice for a home, but we want you to consider the home an investment. While you do have to live in the property for 36 to 42 months after closing as your residence, it's an investment. It's a place that you live. It may not be your dream home. And then afterwards, you're going to be able to sell it and keep all the profit and possibly move on to another home or stay in this home. There is a lottery system, of course, to select a winning bidder. And HUD does require to use a licensed real estate broker who's registered with HUD. That is us and what we do. As we discussed before, HUD does not pay the real estate broker. You're responsible for paying any commissions charged by the real estate broker. Our fee is 6% of the full price of the property, But HUD will allow that fee to be financed into the loan, so you don't have to worry about paying any of these monies up front. And all these costs have been factored into the monthly payment that we estimated just about a minute ago. There's no cost to you unless you're actually successful winning the bid on the property, contracting for it, and actually going to closing on it. So don't be shy. If you want to enter the lottery for this property, go ahead. You would only owe us a fee if you're successful winning a bid, contracting on the property, and going to closing on it. Okay? So what now? We recommend to enter the lottery for the property if you have interest in this home. It's an easy process. You can go to gnndprogram.org and click on the link for. So if you go to gnndprogram.org, this is what you're going to see. We have a little link that says enter the lottery on an available GND home. And we just need some personal information from you. This is a secure form. And we enter your information in the HUD's bid system. And we will let you know the day after the bid deadline whether you won or not. If you did, we'll contact you about getting an earnest money deposit together, getting pre-qualified for a loan, and of course, seeing the home. If you've changed your mind or you look at the home and you don't like it, it's no big deal. You can just say no. You're not going to be out any money, there's going to be no negative repercussion towards you. You can definitely hold out and bid on another property. So gnndprogram.org, click on the link at the top, enter the lottery on an available GND home. This is Rob Sipes. If you have questions, you can reach out to him. Best way to contact him is by phone, 410-299-1051, or by email, rob@reprofessionals.com. We look forward to answering any of your questions and hopefully assisting you with this home. We think it's a great opportunity.